On Tuesday, Senator Mitt Romney, R. Utah, announced that he would support a Senate vote on President Trump's Supreme Court nominee, disappointing those who thought the moderate Republican senator might be opposed to such a move. But Romney's decision shouldn't come as a surprise. To many, it is another disappointing decision by one of the Republican Party's most disappointing leaders. In several ways, Romney's announcement on Tuesday sounded much like the rest of his Republican colleagues, using questionable logic to justify what many believe is one of the most hypocritical political decisions in recent memory. It wasn't unfair because it was consistent with history. It was consistent with precedent, it was consistent with the Constitution, Romney said to reporters on Tuesday. That the Merrick Garland decision was unfair, and so therefore it has to be made up by doing something which also wouldn't make a lot of sense, which is saying to President Trump you can't get your nominee, either, that just doesn't follow. Following his announcement, Romney further rationalized his decision. My liberal friends have over many decades gotten very used to the idea of having a liberal court, but that's not written in the stars, Romney said. The first-term senator from Utah went on to say that it is appropriate for a nation that is center-right to have a court which reflects center-right points of view. Many Democrats had held out hope that Romney was going to join fellow Senators Susan Collins, R.Me., and Lisa Murkowski, R.A.K., in opposing a vote on the prospective Trump nominee until after the election. Given the proximity of the presidential election, however, I do not believe that the Senate should vote on the nominee prior to the election, Collins said in a statement released on Saturday. In fairness to the American people, who will either be re-electing the president or selecting a new one, the decision on a lifetime appointment to the Supreme Court should be made by the president who is elected on November 3rd. Part of the hope that had been held out for Romney was due to his controversial vote in favor of impeaching President Trump this winter, which resulted in the one-time Republican presidential nominee being widely criticized by fellow Republicans and praised by Democrats. The impeachment vote seemingly placed Romney apart from the large number of his Republican Senate collogues who have generally followed Trump's lead over the past 4 years. By falling in line with Trump now, it is unlikely that Romney will regain stature among Trump's supporters, yet he will likely also lose stature among Trump critics. Which is ultimately why many moderates dream of a Romney-led Republican Party as, and always has been, a fantasy. Despite the fact that Romney demonstrated acumen as a businessman and as the governor of Massachusetts, his national political track record is inconsistent at best and a failure at worst.